Terance Mann has shown supreme confidence in only his second season, and it's thanks to Doc Rivers for defining his role and giving him confidence as a rookie.
Doc has done a really good job of establishing roles for everybody on the court, but in terms of myself, Ben, and Joel, it's been clear cut of what's needed from us on a nightly basis.
Mann was a Swiss Army knife for FSU, and Doc gave him the freedom early to be himself, and is translated to the NBA. He is very comfortable in transition and has understanding of angles, like how this defender shifting towards baseline, worried about Mann going hard right. So this little plant to get his momentum going back middle opens this lane for him to drive. Now he's in the league, he's making the same plays. On this rebound, he could flip it back to PG or outlet to Jackson, but he knows Gobert, the rim protector, is behind the play, so he pushes the tempo himself. And again, this plant to change his momentum away from Mitchell's, forcing him to open up and gives him the lane to finish. In college, he had supreme confidence to create for himself. On this catch, given the shot clock and spacing, he could give it to the big, and when cut off, he could hand it off to the guard. But Mann says no and takes it himself. Doc continued to give him that confidence as a rookie in the bubble. Here in transition, the clear play is to pass to Patterson with a 2-on-1 here. But look at his eyes, no intention on passing, and confidently knocks down a contested 3. Next year in the playoffs, he hasn't lost any of that confidence. On this offensive rebound, Batum wants to reset out to PG, but Mann brushes him off and gets to the pull-up right as Gobert opens up the hip. And in the biggest stage he's played on, he could try to get it back to PG, especially with the time on the shot clock. Initially hesitates and disrupts his own shooting rhythm, and could get it back to Rondo. And to still have this type of confidence, given who else is on your team, is special as a second-year role player. He has a second nature for tip dunks, as it was a staple in his college highlights. And now in the playoffs, he did the same thing, because no one in the NBA boxes out. Doc gave Mann confidence as a defender since the bubble last year. Here trusting him to guard LeVert, the Nets' best player at the time. Gets a deflection. Here, usually most defenders will sit back after and let the offensive player recover, but Mann instead pursues and picks up full court, and gives great energy to sprint to recover to turn LeVert and get an offensive foul. And he has the same defensive energy today. Picking up CP on an ATO, he makes CP turn his back to him, and this disrupts the play entirely because now CP can't see the rest of the floor, and they don't get into the action until 12 seconds on the shot clock, and the play is rushed. Since his rookie year, he's been comfortable with getting physical with bigs in the paint. Here knows Zubac has drive help, and a lot of times this guard doesn't crack down on the big, but Mann embraces the physicality and sells the contact for a foul. On a bigger stage, it's the same thing. Here switching onto Ayton, look at Mann's right knee, he's driving it into him. This stands Ayton up and knocks him off balance, telling him I'm not giving up any more ground. And look at Jackson and Mann. Mann face guards Ayton, and see how he places his hands over Ayton. This is an old vet trick, because now if Ayton tries to raise his hands up to rebound, he has to go through Mann, and he can then flop to sell the foul. His true versatility is his rebounding, which has allowed the Clippers to play small. Here in this single possession, he gets 3 offensive rebounds because of his understanding of angles. Instead of trying to get into the scrum, he peels off to the elbow for 2 reasons. 1, shots that are long tend to pop to the elbows. 2, if it doesn't, you are ready to pick up in transition. If you try to get into the scrum and rebound goes long, you're now behind the play in transition. On this second rebound, again takes outside position, which is smart against a longer player in Bagley, as the only way he gets this ball is if it goes long to the elbow. On the last rebound, takes outside position. By shoving Bagley under the paint, this eliminates him if the ball bounces in front of the rim, and it's exactly what happens. Because of Doc Rivers and Ty Lue's confidence in him, Terance Mann has exceeded his expectations and will be a key part of the Clippers moving forward.